All right, guys, welcome to Sphons CCW Live Show. We are a little behind tonight once again. I think really what we need to do is move the show 5 minutes. I really do. We need. I think from now on we're going to do this at 7:05. That way,
get the store closed up.
We can get the customers satisfied and happy with what they want and get everything done. I'm still working on seeing if we are actually live on Facebook here, so bear with me a minute.
I have my phone with me, so I can't text your mother either.
I may have to refresh this page and find out. I mean, I don't understand. We plan to go live here, which is pretty much what we're doing.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
We got her up. So, class schedule. A ton. So, 9:19. We got 5 left. 9:27. We got 10. 10:18. We got 10. And 11:15. We have 10 left. Yes, we are booking into November. So, get on it if you want to get into class. Advanced courses. 9, 12, and 13, defensive pistol. There's a few left in that one. Get on it before it gets sold out. 10-10, we got pistol fundamentals coming around again. That's always a popular one. 10-person class, we're going to work on accuracy and draw stroke and making sure you hit your target from any angle. A bunch of stuff in that class. That's a good class. Lots of shooting. 10-3 and 10-4, we have another NRA pistol instructor workshop coming up. The one that's happening this weekend kind of got a little big, so we had to put an overflow up. 10-24 and 10-25. 24th is basic rifle and carbine. 24th, 25th is NRA rifle instructor. So if you want to get your rifle instructor rating, you'll have to do both days. So you can teach rifle courses. I think that's what we got so far. Just so everybody knows, if you're wanting to get your pistol instructor rating so you can teach your own concealed carry courses, the 10-3, 10-4 class is already half full. So
if you want in it, you better get on it.
Yeah, if you want to get in that pistol instructor workshop, you better get in it. This next month, real quick, it's a few weeks. So
yeah. Well, there's no one else that's doing any pistol instructor classes.
No. So that not that I know of anyway. Good evening, Bob Wiseman. All right, appreciate it, guys. I just had to scroll down and look at the comments a little bit to see them. What else have we got going on? Once again, seems like the protest mantra has gone crazy. Out in the world,
Unbelievable.
we're going to talk about that here after a while. I didn't, there's some videos of this young man at this protest with his AR, and I didn't want to do that tonight because I think there's still a lot of things to be learned from that. Like, there's still a lot of stuff that nobody knows yet. Like, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't come out of the woodwork yet.
Yeah, and you see different views every minute, as far as that goes, whether he had the gun legally or not, and whether he was allowed to carry there or not. or open carry there or not.
Yeah,
It's
who
like,
opened fire first? And
yeah.
I just saw a report that somebody else outside of the entire situation between him and those three other people was actually the one that fired the first shot.
Yeah.
So it looks like somebody fired a shot. Whether or not they did it to escalate the situation or what their reasoning behind that is, I don't know. So I got some pretty good video footage of it. The problem with the video footage is it's pretty much not. You got to have a pretty strong stomach to watch that.
Oh yeah.
So we don't want to. There's some parts we don't want to put out on. I mean, it's out on the internet. It's just that we really don't want to highlight those parts of that. So I got to do some editing to the video footage, and then we've got more evidence coming out, and I think everybody's got some opinions on it, but you need to do some research on some legalities of the state in which he was in and different things like
Right,
that.
because
So
he was from Illinois, he was in Wisconsin.
yeah,
So
which everybody kind of they make
don't
it
know.
sound like that.
Yeah,
He had traveled a long ways, but it was only like 12 or 13 minutes away from his house.
Right.
I guess he worked in that.
Well, and they also make it sound like when anything on the mainstream news makes it seem like these people just came up to him real friendly and he just opened fire on them, and that's not the case. They were trying to attack him. So.
Right.
But
so there's a ton of that going around. Yeah, gotta make sure we are. We're good on there. Still making sure everything's up and running. Okay, so range and carry tips.
I'm gonna pull this right out of a magazine that I just got. Some of you might recognize this, but first time I'd seen this one. It's pretty simple, really. 5 targets. You can use paper plates as far as that goes, 1 yard apart or thereabouts, and you can do it like they do it and do it from draw, or you can do it from low ready or retention ready or whatever. But basically, you have to shoot 5 rounds, 5 targets with a reload in the middle, and it's pretty simple, effective. But being a yard apart, you're going to have to move.
Yeah.
And so, you could do it with steel if you backed off to, at least 21 feet. You could do it with paper if you wanted to get a little bit closer. But you could run a timer on it. You could, run a shot timer, see how long it takes you. Get your buddies to go with you and try to beat their score, or they beat your score, or whatever. And you not shoot a lot of rounds, and just kind of, if you got a handful of rounds, you could be down there for an hour and a half. So you want to shoot 25 or so. And
yeah, it's a good low round count drill that really puts all the skills together.
What the hell was that?
Well, we just
Thunder?
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Had to have been thunder.
Yeah, it's booming.
Wow.
God.
Wow. Shook our old brick building here. I mean, that was a heck of a thump, man.
He got that right.
So anyway, it's a good low round count drill. It kind of puts all your skills together.
Mm-hmm.
You got presentation, you got flashlight picture, trigger control, everything's in there to hit those 5 targets in a decent amount of time. So
yeah, and you could back it off if you wanted to and make sure you're getting proper sight alignment, sight picture. If you want to do it farther away, where you couldn't do it with flash sight picture, or slow it down or speed it up or whatever you want to do with it. It's just a real simple thing you could modify, to your specs, whatever you want to do with it. So
yeah, so that's a pretty cool pretty cool drill. Low round count, so you don't have to spend a bunch of ammo, but it puts all the skills together.
Yeah.
I guess start slow and work up speed. Make sure you're getting all your hits first.
Well, that's the thing we see all the time is people try to go fast and they're all over the place. And if you slow down and work on the fundamentals first, then the speed will come later. So, carry tip, and we've been harping on this for quite some time. Dry fire practice at home. Carry your gun around with you. Get used to it. A lot of people we hear say, "Well, I just don't want to carry it because I'm not comfortable with it." Practice your draw stroke. Practice carrying it around. Practice your sight alignment and sight picture with an unloaded gun. Never load the gun. Just get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with it, you won't carry it. If you're unsure whether you can draw it, you won't draw it. If you're unsure whether you can get your sight alignment, sight picture, or flash sight picture or whatever, you won't even begin to use it. We hear that a lot. I'm just not comfortable carrying it. Well, you better get comfortable carrying it because you might need it. So
yeah,
that's the big thing.
Certainly. Especially with everything that's going on. I mean, there's some crazy stuff that's been just absolute craziness. People getting gunned down over parking space arguments and
or a fender bender, like those people in South or North Carolina,
kids getting shot up just because
they're on the guy's lawn.
Yeah, because they're on somebody's lawn or because they're a different color as somebody, and it's just ridiculous the things that are going on this day and age.
I don't get it, but where did it seems like the civility of society at all is gone, but you don't know whether you're gonna have to defend yourself at the grocery store or a McDonald's or wherever, So
I'm trying to reply to comments here. I got multiple computers going, so I just can't type that fast. All right. So part of the title of our show today is how important is it to practice around your vehicle? And if we back that up about 25 steps, how important is it to put yourself under some type of stress and do stuff like this drill we just lined out, and understand that your absolute worst day at the range is kind of how you're going to shoot put under a ton of stress during a stressful situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran across this video from Fox 32 in illustrious Chicago. Now, it says they exchange gunfire with an officer in broad daylight. And I don't know who's training this guy, but I have a hard time believing he's a police officer.
Yeah.
If he is, he's got to be a secretary somewhere because his firearm handling skills are atrocious at best. So what we're looking at here is a security camera, and here come the two thugs, and one dude piles in the car, and the guy gets out of the car. Okay, so what we're going to do right here, right now is, here's mistake one. He got out of the car. Yeah. He didn't know how many guys were standing behind him. I mean, you can't see out of a car very well. He got out of the car, right?
You surrendered your castle doctrine there, bud.
Yeah, you surrendered your castle doctrine. He should have been trained and been able to deal with drawing in the vehicle. But these two thugs get in the car, or the one gets in the car, the other guy goes around to the driver's side, and you can see he takes 3 shots at the dude while he's trying to get in the car. So at this point in time, we back up here, right? You can see him coming around, right? I don't know what this guy's thinking. He draws. If you look, his firearm malfunctions. He's got his thumb over top of the slide on his offhand. So he's got to clear a malfunction. Now, what I'll give this guy is he's pretty quick at clearing malfunctions. Apparently, he does it a lot. Gets his thumb over the slide again. Every time he goes to...
After shoots it.
Every time he goes to fire the firearm, he's got to clear the malfunction. This guy has got to have the worst case of slide bite ever. I mean, that's like 7 or 8 rounds. But the other thing that I'm trying to figure out is he starts here, fires this direction into the guy getting in the car. And then he goes this way, firing into the car. You just watch it. Fires, malfunction, fires, malfunction, fires, malfunction, right? And then he comes back around this way and takes off running. So here's my thing.
Why aren't you moving the cover?
Yeah, he's got a Jeep right there. Like there's a Jeep right there. Do the other guys have guns? I think. And I think the one perpetrator, I'm pretty sure the one perpetrator probably pointed it at him to get him out of the car. But he's got a Jeep right there. When you get back here, your life's not worth this car. Nope. It's not. I mean, these guys are in the car and he's shooting into the car. So had it been a civilian, that's wading into the mud farther. And you don't really want to do that. You want to err on innocent self-defense. Now, if he'd opened fire when the dude got in the car, it'd be an entirely different story. But this guy, he's literally randomly running around firing shots into a vehicle. And we're going to see here shortly that none of them are effective.
Yeah, they obviously didn't hit the guy.
He didn't hit anything. Runs around that way, and then turns his back on the guys who just carjacked you. This guy piles out of the car, takes a couple pot shots at him while he's running away, comes back for his buddy. Hey, you hit, man? Nope, let's get out of here, yo. I mean, hello? He didn't hit anything. This is an absolute lack of training right here. This is a lack of accuracy. It's a lack of using your firearm and being proficient with it. Like I said, I cannot believe that this is.
He's an officer.
He's an officer. I can't. I think the news is full of it. I don't think they have any idea what they're talking about, because I cannot believe that there is an officer out there that is that bad at that. Unless he's been sitting behind a desk his entire career and never done anything. But he's got to qualify every year. I mean,
well,
I just can't believe it. This looks like somebody who went and got their concealed carry permit and left the thing in a sock drawer, or it carries it around in their pants and it doesn't do anything with it.
Right. That's about what I was thinking.
That's what this looks like to me. So, yeah. Anyway, hi, Dean. So, you unloaded firearm. Start with the unloaded firearm. Put it on your holster, however you're going to carry it. Get in the car and see if you can access it. That is step one. See if you can get a hold of the thing, right? And this exact scenario is why I hate attached car holsters so much. Is because are you going to have time to get that thing out of that holster and get out of the car if you're forced out of the car?
Right. If it's on your body, at least you have a chance to, if you're forced
Yeah,
out of the car.
if the dude had wung the door open and opened fire, you're going to want to get out of the car, right? You're going to want to use the car for cover. But if the guy does that, are you going to have the wherewithal to think about, I got to get my pistol before I get out?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I got shot 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's going to be step one. The rest of it gets real complicated, but can you access it to be able to use it effectively inside of the vehicle if needed? So, and the other thing is making sure that your grip is right. That's why we're always getting on people about when they're coming in for their grip, mid up and just rock your hand around. That way you're not grabbing back here, right? You take that pistol and drive it into your fist and away you go. That way this thumb isn't behind the slide causing a malfunction while you're trying to shoot back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's kind of like gunfight 101, right? Shoot back. That's the first thing you need to do.
Yeah, without having malfunction.
Yeah, without having malfunctions. So get that hand up, drive that pistol in there. That way you don't get that thumb behind it, right? It gets a little more, you get outside of the concealed carry class. That's what we're kind of trying to drive home. That way, when you need it, it's there. It works. Every step has got a reason behind it. I got an article up here about, and this is from the Daily Caller, and we're not going to sit. This is a long article. I did read this. This is about that protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. But this article, essentially, the editor of this article was one of the first responders. And I don't know much about this newspaper, to be honest with you, but most newspapers or editorial articles or anything like that are generally not pro self-defense, pro 2A. And you can, if you go through and read this article, you really can, you get the hint that this author of this article is really conflicted about the fact that he's got to tell the truth in this particular article, and that his opinion, because I'm going to call it an opinion, of what should be, done, or what should happen in the aftermath of this, he kind of leads you to believe that he thinks that this young man defended himself, whereas the vast majority of the other media outlets in this country believe that he was in the wrong and the aggressor, and should be prosecuted for that. And I don't know right now. There's too much mud in the way to get it figured out right now. So we're going to leave this sit for a minute, probably a week or two, and then we're going to come back and revisit it. Like I said, I got video footage of it. Mm-hmm. We'll be back to revisit this and take a look at it, but we need some video evidence of what happened way before, so that we can identify people and things like that. But whatever. Anyway, you guys are going to want to go and read this article. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to try and put a link in the comments, if I can do that. And steel curtain. Awesome. Thank you. I got to put an @ here. So I'll link this article here on YouTube, and then I'm going to try and get the article linked up on the Facebook page. for you guys. If I can get this done. All right, so okay, that's linked up for you guys. So head on over to Daily Caller and check that article out. There's like I said, it's a few minutes read, but it's looking like if this particular fella that wrote this article puts his testimony in court, it doesn't look like this young man is going to have much trouble beating this charge. Outside of there's some question whether or not the curfew or whether there was a curfew there, and the reason that's important, just so everybody knows, is your right to self-defense is removed
Breaking the law
during a commission of a crime. It'd be like somebody breaking in your house and they have a weapon and you open fire and then they try and claim self-defense because they shot back. That's kind of the premise that everything works on. So that's really where we're at with that. Like I said, go read the article, make up your own decision on that. But it's a good article and kind of lays out the timeline. And we're going to leave this one sit for a week or two, depending upon how things play out. And then we're going to go back. We're going to look at this and analyze this and look at it and peg it apart from a defensive standpoint. Like, what can we do to do things better? So, stupid ads. Off from Fox 8, we got 2 men are now in custody following a reported attempt abduction of a woman in North Ridgeville, or in Mansfield. North Ridgeville police say they were called to a residence on Homecrest Drive where a 54-year-old woman who's a realtor and was showing the home said she was approached by 2 men outside the house who attempted to pull her into the vehicle. During the altercation, the men also reportedly said, "Get in there and let's go." So we got mugshots, pictures of these 2 numbnuts. And, these guys are lucky she didn't shoot them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we talk about class demographics and whatnot, but the amount of women who are concealed carrying anymore are just
exploding.
It's just exploding, and it's all got to do with this kind of crap right here.
Yep.
I mean, these 2 numbnuts decide they're going to grab this woman trying to make a living and show a house.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bother me if she perforated them any.
Yeah, them boys got lucky. They're just going to jail.
Yeah, like the victim, who had bruises and scratches on her body, was able to break free from the men and got inside her own car and locked the doors, police said. The 2 men then drove away from the home. Wouldn't bother me if she'd run him over either. Following an investigation, police arrested this dude, David Helton of Vermilion, and Michael Evans of Henrietta Township today, reportedly without incident, charging them both with abduction and assault, police said. I would imagine it's without incident. Look at these 2 guys. It's not like they're going to run away.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. That with the explosion in women carrying anymore, due to this kind of garbage, I mean, you hear about this in every city, in every state, at least every week. A couple guys try and grab us. I mean, look at the sex trafficking issue that's going on.
Right.
Grabbing young girls and women, and you never see them again.
No.
I mean, look at the video last week. It's probably what happened. We have no idea what happened to that poor woman.
No.
So
exactly.
Yeah. These 2 guys are lucky that she didn't have a concealed handgun license, and hopefully, maybe if this video gets shared enough, maybe she'll get around to seeing it, and she can come on in and get her training proper, and then she's not going to have to worry about this kind of crap, because if these 2 idiots come back and try and grab her, just perforate them.
Ventilate them a little bit.
Yeah, ventilate them. They need to lose some weight anyway. What else do we got here? Something I never thought I would see around here. Jackson Township Police, 100+ teens at a Sky Zone fight. I think Sky Zone is the place where we went and took the kids for
skating and stuff.
For skating and a laser tag and
yeah.
So I don't know. Like, here's the first question: how do you get 100 teens brawling and not a single parent around?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if I was there, it'd have been 100 teens plus one dude smacked the crap out of half of them. Like, the police came in the door and he had 5 kids over his knee.
Yep.
But 15-year-old Kent girl reportedly kicked another repeatedly in the head. The health department is investigating after police notified the agency more than 100 teenagers were at a local trampoline park when a fight broke out. Saturday night confrontation at Sky Zone left one Canton girl in Akron Hospital with life-threatening injuries and another locked up in a juvenile attention facility. I thought that was a detention
facility. I think
it says attention. Health department will determine whether the business violated state COVID-19 mandates. Because that's it. But you got a friggin' 100-kid brawl, and we care about COVID-19 mandates. We're looking at seeing what this business is doing and what they have as their established maximum capacity. The place is gigantic if you've ever been there. He said businesses are required to comply with the state health orders that spell out guidelines aimed at controlling the coronavirus pandemic. Once again, 100 kids in a fist fight, and this is what we're worried about?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, how about the lack of respect of these kids and the lack of parental supervision at the place, and the simple fact that somehow this went on long enough without any interference that 100 kids got involved in this.
Right. Exactly. Where is there any kind of security there at all?
Here's the thing: the whole article's about this COVID garbage, and and I think this is part of the problem with the youth today is this whole thing is about the COVID restrictions, and nobody happens to think about, well, why didn't anybody discipline these kids? Why do these kids act like this?
Right. Exactly.
Pissed
off businesses were jumping and you couldn't.
Yeah, businesses were closed in March, laser tag facilities, blah, blah, blah. The health department received at least 1,000 COVID-19 related complaints. Officers were called at 9:15 p.m. to Sky Zone. One girl was taken to Mercy Medical, then flown by emergency medical helicopter to Akron Children's, who were apparent life-threatening injuries. She has since been released, but her condition is not available. Ruby says she'd been kicked twice in the head, rendering her unconscious by the time police were called to the scene. He said 2 girls, both 15, had been embroiled in a dispute over a boy. When one girl left and returned with some of her friends, the fight escalated. And when police arrived, the victim was lying on the floor unconscious. Chief said news released from his agency Monday said the body was shaking and that she had been knocked down and kicked in the head on the ground. Suspect was booked in a Maldi County Juvenile Attention Center on felonious assault charges. Our investigation continues. Call Monday seeking comment from Sky Zone referred to as corporate office. The corporate office, citing the pending investigation, declined to comment. Video posted on social media and the police department's Facebook page shows dozens of teens had gathered as the fight broke out. We're aware that there are others involved in the assault and are actively attempting to identify those individuals, police said via the news release Monday. Why didn't they scoop all of them up?
Right.
I mean, they could have.
Nobody leaves until we question everything.
Exactly. You guys are going to be
here till tomorrow.
Exactly. We're going to get everybody's name, everybody's address, and then we're going to get everybody's parents' names and addresses, and we're going to handle this issue.
Right.
I mean,
no, you can't do that anymore.
I'd be pissed if a friggin' officer called one of my kids did something like that. And, oh my gosh, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And we are down to our Darwin Award winner this week. We got this from Law Enforcement Today. And I wish these ads would go away. Man opens fire on state troopers while trying to avoid arrest. Manages to accidentally shoot and kill himself. Really? I mean, not only did he open fire on the state troopers, but they didn't even have to shoot him. He shot himself. Virginia man who fired shots at state troopers in an attempt to avoid arrest instead hit and killed himself. In the morning hours of August 13th, in an interview with a local news outlet, 13 News Now, a Virginia State Police spokesman identified the man as 23-year-old Coleman Lamar Sample. Really? In an earlier press release, state police said the shooting happened in Virginia Beach just after 10 p.m. Wednesday night, when a trooper tried to stop Sample for driving recklessly on westbound I-264. Police reported he clocked Sample going 92 miles an hour in a 55. When they tried to pull him over, he refused to stop his car. Instead, Coleman led troopers off I-264 onto Military Highway, then back onto the interstate. From there, he reportedly sped into a parking lot of an apartment complex and hit a car. That's where state troopers say Coleman then got out and tried to take off on foot. He did not get far before troopers caught up to him. When they tried to make the arrest, he allegedly pulled a gun and started firing. Police said one of the bullets hit him and he died at the scene. Renters at the apartment complex described the moments after the gunfire ended and the scene went silent. I didn't hear any struggle, so when I heard the last gunshot, he got completely quiet, like there was no yelling. I didn't hear any back and forth, put your hands, drop your weapon. It's at least the third time this year a traffic stop or an attempted arrest escalated to gunfire in the coastal city. He reported February on a deadly officer-involved shooting. Virginia Beach Police, U.S. Marshals, and Montgomery County, Maryland Police Department were working together to arrest a fugitive wanted for a 1992 murder in Maryland. Virginia police say the wanted man pulled a handgun. Officers fired in response. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. Okay. Yeah, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Mm-hmm. Neighbors caught the confrontation on cell phone video. The 8-minute-long video captures officers first asking the suspect to put the gun down, then pleading with him for several minutes before the negotiations ended in gunfire. Why does this need to be added to the article? No officers were hurt. Then in March, a felony warrant escalated into officer-involved shooting as well. They're attempting to serve a warrant. The Virginia Beach oceanfront engaged the suspect in the area. Shots were fired and the suspect was fatally wounded. Officers say they immediately began rescue efforts, but the man died at the scene. No officers were hurt. Washington Post purports to keep records of every police-involved shooting in the country since 2015.
And there again, why is that part on this? Because the cops didn't shoot him.
Yeah, that's the thing. He shot himself.
Right.
Like,
why are they keeping records of when somebody shot themselves? There was no cops shooting.
I don't know. Like,
that just makes no sense.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Like, he decided to open fire and then and ended up hitting himself. Idiots. Like I said, he's a Darwin Award winner. So the Post data relies primarily on news accounts, social media postings, and police reports, because that's accurate. I'm talking about social media posting and news accounts. Analysis of more than 5 years of data reveals that the number of circumstances of fatal shootings and overall demographics of the victims have remained relatively constant. I would believe that.
I would say to that statement, I would say, in what context of that being a suicide?
Yeah. Right?
Because it's not an officer-involved shooting. The officer was there, but...
Well, I don't think in here...
No.
They chased him on foot.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say that they returned fire.
I don't think you...
They were probably like, what the...
Yeah.
What the?
Okay.
He's trying to shoot at us. It hit himself.
Yep. So
What a numbnuts. In any event.
that's not an officer involved shooting.
No, that's a suspect involved shooting.
Yeah, right. You know, you murdered yourself, bud.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all we got. I mean, what an idiot.
Yeah, that tops it all off. Anyway.
Oh, it certainly does.
It just goes right back to survival of the fittest.
And yeah, Steel Curtain Dynasty on YouTube says there was an article that came out, 3 women bringing kids to known pedophiles in Worcester, he thinks. Anyway, he asked if you get an opinion on a gun. Sure, shoot it out, man. I'll let you know what I think of it. Would bring kids to. Sure, we'll let you know, providing I have experience with it. If it's something I don't have any experience with, then probably can't tell you much about it. But we'll let you know anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, product of the week. Made by Flambeau. Pretty good case. Big old case for your PDW or personal defense weapon. So this is got 4 locking tabs on it. That's a lot for a small case like this for an AR. But really strong built. Not pillared, but it has these slide-in pieces to make it kind of pillared. So it won't slide in or out. It's got some kind of a strap in here to keep everything tightened in place, and places to hook the strap. So that's a good thing. Of course, the standard egg crate foam, which is pretty thick. Yeah, it's like 1.25 inches thick. On that side, yeah, about the same thing on this side. But seems to be a really good case. Flambeau's always a good product. And I've had a couple of Flambeau cases for quite some time. And they're a good product. This one here, I run about $52, but that's not bad for a case like this. If you want something that's going to really protect your gun from elements, beat it around in the truck, still have it work when you want it, or your optics still be in good shape, then pick up something like this. We got several other kinds in the store here, pillared and unpillared like this one. Longer ones, shorter ones for shotguns, rifles, hard cases and soft. So if you're looking for something like that, we got a whole bunch of them here now. So
Interesting. That's why I wanted to post that. Actually, there's too many.
Well, I think it goes without saying that if you want to get in a class, whether it be concealed carry class or an advanced class or an instructor class, you need to step up and do it. There is no waiting and seeing if they fill up anymore, and we're not the only ones that are booked solid. So, and the fact that most sheriff's departments are running 2 to 3 months behind in processing. So if you want to get it done, you need to do it right away.
Yeah. Trying to Saints. WRC's outside of that price range. And then
Radical too.
Smith.
Elton. Anderson.
The other good one is
Wrigley.
all right. Good deal. Almost our steel curtain. Hopefully you find an AR and you get something good. Got a whole list of stuff there that we've ran. Kind of put our mitts on and run the crap out of them. That's not including the build stuff that we use.
Yeah.
I think we've whipped on about every brand that is there outside of the really expensive stuff. Just like pistols, you stay within your budget, and you got a good budget, so you'll get something nice and run the crap out of it. Buy more ammo than a rifle's worth, and you'll be good with it.
Yeah, that's about it. Works too.
There you go. So,
God, I'd hate to think how many dollars worth of ammo we run through our guns.
oh my gosh,
pistols and rifles and shotguns and.
That's like figuring up how much Social Security you paid in. It's just not a good idea.
It's not a good idea because you're just like, man, no, I don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Could have bought a yacht.
Oh, I'm sure. Yacht, new truck, nice house.
Yeah, nice house.
Whatever, right? All up in smoke.
Yeah.
A bunch of lead in a dirt bank somewhere.
Yep.
All right, guys. That's what we got for you. Once again, if you want to see something on the show, drop us a line. Let us know. You run across a video you want to throw up here, then, send us a link. You want to see a guest, or if we can get a hold of them, we'll see if we can get them on.
Did you want to go do anything about the coming going on here?
No, not this week.
Okay, I didn't know
So,
if we were going to do that.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff going on and a bunch of new stuff coming down the pipeline. So we'll get on it when we're a little more prepared. But so normally every week we tell you we'll be here at the same time next week. But
You got a comment there, Diane.
Miss Diane, yes.
Diane. Yep.
Okay. See if I can get this done without monkeying up the whole thing. So gonna make this big. We gotta shut the sound off. Is 5 targets.
1 yard apart and 1
1 yard.
2 feet.
Can't type tonight. We're gonna draw fire. 1 round target.
Build in the middle.
Reload.
Yeah, please.
Expectation.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now that we've got that weirdo thing going on here. Hopefully, I got everybody's comments and questions answered. We're going to go 7:05 next week so that we can get the store closed and get stuff put away and make sure everybody's happy. So let all your friends know. 5 minutes later, we'll be here next week. And everybody, thanks for stopping in, watching. We always enjoy you guys. And have a good weekend. Stay safe. And we will see you next week. Outside of that, hopefully whatever that boom was early on in the show didn't didn't take out half the town.
And the building's still standing.
Yeah,
so
we're not getting rained on, so I think we're good. All right. We'll see you guys next week.